of the National Football League.
This crowd is alive and ready to go. Oakland is the home team. Most of the fans here cheering for them. The Raiders won the toss. Jack Del Rio elected to defer. He'll put his improving defense on the field against Bill O'Brien's offense. Sebastian Janikowski kicks it deep, and it's down by Braxton Miller. The Houston quarterback is Brock Osweiler. Last week in their win at Jacksonville, he became the only quarterback in the league this season to throw more than 25 passes and under 100 yards. And on a broader scale, he's had 3 games this year with 40 or more pass attempts and fewer than 200 yards. 3 games of that type in one season. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to do that. Trying to get the passing game going, averaging 18 points per game, 29th in the NFL. They were able to run the ball effectively in that victory against the Jaguars. He comes out slinging at 6'8" tall, and he's on target to Ryan Griffin for a gain out to the 29, a pickup of 4.
Well, Osweiler needs to throw it better, no question. They need bigger plays in the passing game, but I think DeAndre Hopkins has to play better, Sean, and so do these rookie wide receivers, Will Fuller and Braxton Miller. Their best receiver has been C.J. Fedorowicz, and he was a blocking tight end when the season started.
It's an offense based on timing and reads. The wide receivers have options as they run their routes, and Hopkins hasn't been on the same page with Osweiler. Hand off to Lamar Miller, and he ran into John's pregame co-Gruden grinder, Bruce Irvin, the former Seattle Seahawk.
And this is the strength of the Raider defense, their third down defense. You're going to see on the left side of your screen Irvin show up quickly. But it's this third down defense the Raiders have excelled at the most. Last week against Denver, they were 3 and out on the first 4 possessions.
Loss of 2 on the carry by Miller. The Texans leading rusher bothered by ankle and shoulder injuries. Osweiler on target, and a first down and a late flag thrown. C.J. Fedorowicz, when lunging to pick up the first down yardage in the arms of Malcolm Smith. Tony Correnti is the referee tonight.
They got Malcolm Smith for holding.
Holding, defense number 53. This penalty is declined. The result to the play is a first down.
Oakland, the most penalized team in the NFL, 10.4 penalties per game. That's 2 more than any other team. The Ravens are next at 8.4. And how about the 23 penalties in a win in overtime at Tampa Bay?
That's hard to do.
The NFL single game record. Osweiler over the middle. It seemed to catch Fedorowicz by surprise. Again, we talk about this timing offense, and the timing was off on that play. The offensive line led by Dwayne Brown at left tackle, the 3-time Pro Bowler Chris Clark in at right tackle for the injured Derek Newton. The backs and receivers, they get Will Fuller, the rookie out of Notre Dame, back. He's a deep ball threat. He missed last week in Jacksonville with a knee injury. They're also without their backup running back Alfred Blue with a calf. Jalen Strong, their 4th wideout, out with an ankle. Lamar Miller gets a hard-earned 3 yards out to the 40. Khalil Mack and David Amerson made the stop for Oakland.
Lamar Miller having a career year. He's the workhorse, and they're going to need him tonight. Alfred Blue is out. Bill O'Brien, the head coach, loves Lamar Miller. He's nursing a sore shoulder. He's got a bad ankle. He is the heart and soul of this Texan offense. And on 3rd down and long, here comes Osweiler in the 32nd ranked Texan pass offense.
Raiders rushed 5. Osweiler has time and his man for a first down and much more. DeAndre Hopkins, he's out of bounds, back at the 36-yard line.
I hope Hopkins heard me. He's been awful quiet. His number's way down this year. He's going to push up the field against DJ Hayden. He breaks to the outside, and you see the speed of DeAndre Hopkins. Did he step out of bounds? Look like it might be challengeable if I'm the Texans. There's the flag.
Well, they marked him out at the 36. We haven't seen a replay yet during which it appeared he stepped out of bounds. I'm not sure if this is reviewable. Once they blow the play dead there at the 36-yard line, what can you do? And I think that's what Tony Correnti is telling Bill O'Brien.
There is no challenge on the play. A question about rule, and the rule is if a player steps out of bounds, declared out of bounds, cannot be reviewed. Therefore, no challenge. Houston will not be charged with the timeout. It will be first down.
Well, he didn't go out of bounds.
No, he did not. And Hopkins, that time, Bill O'Brien put him in the slot. Hopkins has played outside a lot. You see his numbers this year, only 11 yards a catch. This man had 111 grabs last year, and they desperately need his playmaking. So far, so good, though, from Brock Osweiler. 2 for 2 on third down.
So it's a 24-yard gain. It should have been 36 more yards and a touchdown. Lamar Miller, first year with the Texans, yanked back by Malcolm Smith. An improving Oakland defense led up front by Khalil Mack, one of the best defensive ends in football, a Pro Bowler last year. Veteran linebackers, the two former Seahawks with the former Redskin, Perry Riley, first-year Raider in the middle. And in the secondary, Reggie Nelson in his first year here. Over from Cincinnati, a 10-year veteran, provided a lot of leadership in that secondary. Miller tries the middle, gets to the 31-yard line. It'll be third down. They need to make the 26. 3rd and 5 for Bill O'Brien, who shares the play-calling duties with George Godsey, the offensive coordinator.
On third down, keep an eye on Raider corner Sean Smith. Smith hurt his shoulder a couple weeks ago against Tampa, the ex-Kansas City Chief. Wouldn't be surprised if DeAndre Hopkins goes after Smith early in this game to see just where he is physically.
Akeem Hunt comes in at running back. He was a practice squad player all year until last week in Jacksonville. Good pass receiver. Might stay in the block. Osweiler, plenty of time on target. First down. Impressive opening drive continues on the catch by Steven Anderson, the rookie out of Cal, with his 9th catch of the year. Good for 14 yards.
Very impressive. They cleared out with Hopkins, and Anderson, who caught over 100 passes at the University of California in his career, has become a viable slot receiver for the Texans. They're on the move.
10th play of the drive. Akeem Hunt weaved his way inside the 15-yard line. Texans have struggled all year in the red zone, but they did score on both of their red zone possessions in Jacksonville last weekend.
Well, they've had some penalties. They've had some sacks, some negative yardage running plays. They've fallen behind in the down and distance. And right now in 2nd and medium, Bill O'Brien has the entire playbook at his fingertips.
And you wonder about the fatigue level of the defense on the field for more than 5.5 minutes in the altitude of Estadio Azteca, 7,503 feet above sea level here. Akeem Hunt in trouble and pulled down behind the line of scrimmage.
One of the things you have to do as an outside linebacker is set the edge. And Bruce Irvin, he dominates at the point of attack. Ryan Griffin had no chance.
Justin Ellis, backup defensive lineman, the injured player for Oakland. Timeout, 9:08 to go, first quarter. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Citizen Echo Drive watches, powered by the light around you. By GMC, we are professional grade. And by NFL.com/Pro Bowl. Vote now for the 2017 Pro Bowl game in Orlando. Aerial coverage from above Estadio Azteca, brought to you by American Express. On a very pleasant night here in the capital of Mexico, 53 degrees at kickoff. Houston has taken the first possession of the game, 61 yards in 11 plays. They've held the ball for nearly now over 6 minutes as they run the clock. Justin Ellis off the field. We're told from the sideline just the wind knocked out of him. He should return for Oakland. 3rd down and 7. Brock Osweiler well protected on this opening possession. Scrambled away now and throws it away. Flushed from the pocket. And Bill O'Brien sends the field goal team out. Pressure applied by Danico Autry and Khalil Mack.
Well, Khalil Mack working against Dwayne Brown. I thought he would work on the other side against Chris Clark. Osweiler had nowhere to go. Raiders played zone coverage. Here's Nick Novak.
On to try a 32-yard field goal. He's made his last 32 from inside 45 yards. Only Dan Bailey, the Cowboys, has a longer such streak. He's made 42 in a row from inside 45, and this one's right on target with plenty to spare. Well, it should have been a touchdown. They got a bad call. They settled for the field goal in a 3-0 lead. The Polanco area of Mexico City, very popular upscale district, beautiful broad avenues. They're fancy shops. You do a lot of damage to your credit card. Fine dining, restaurants and cafes. It was a short trip from our hotel in downtown Mexico City. Many members of our crew, led by John Sutcliffe of ESPN Deportes, enjoyed the Polanco.
I like the Polanco too.
Three 0 Houston. Nick Novak kicks off. Jalen Richard back deep for Oakland. And it's a touchback and out of the back of the end zone. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hello, Sean. Well, as you know, we're about 7,500 feet above sea level. That's 2,200 feet higher than Denver's Mile High Stadium. So the thinner air and how it affects players going to be a real issue tonight. Nausea, headaches, being totally gassed. Those are some of the effects players might feel. Both teams have oxygen on the sidelines. We're used to seeing that at games, even at lesser altitudes. But what's different tonight, they're also providing oxygen to both teams in their locker rooms to help players catch their breath at halftime. And they're probably going to need it after playing football for 30 minutes and then making the 180-yard walk uphill to their respective locker rooms. Sean?
Well, both teams knew what they were in for tonight. Jack Del Rio downplayed it, said it's just like playing on a very hot day, a windy day, a cold day. You have to deal with the conditions, whatever they are. In this case, it's altitude. Derek Carr, short pass. Michael Crabtree dropped for a loss. Andre Hal, the safety, up behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 5 on the first play for Derek Carr and the Raiders. He started every game since coming into the National Football League, the start of the 2014 season. At 42 straight starts. He's 17-24 as a starter, and with a great touchdown to interception ratio, 5th best in the league. He's thrown 17 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions. Jalen Richard is the running back. They hand it to him, and he's going to be dropped for a loss by Jadeveon Clowney.
There's Clowney. Finally healthy and finally making his presence felt. He leads the Texans in tackles for loss. Here's another one. He whips Warford easily. And this is where Romeo Crennel wants to be. Obvious passing situation, long yardage. They like to cover the center and both guards. Whitney Merciless, number 59, an extremely talented pass rusher. Be careful if you're Derek Carr.
First 2 plays for the Raiders, a loss of 5 and a loss of 4. 3rd down and 19. Carr under duress. Clowney in there very quickly. Got it off to Latavius Murray, who's run down from behind by Whitney Merciless. Well short of the first down. Great start on defense for Houston.
You better be careful if you get behind in a down at distance. Clowney whips Austin Howard big time, and Merciless comes from all the way on the backside Look at this effort by Merciless to track down Murray on this screen pass. 3 and out.
There's Marquette King having a terrific year, averaging 48.4 per punt. 5th best in the NFL this year. They have 2 men back deep. It's interesting. They're sort of in the I formation back there, curious as to how far the ball might travel in this altitude. With the deeper man, Tyler Irvin, the rookie out of San Jose State, who fielded it and brought it back to the 37. Braxton Miller was also back deep, just not quite as deep. Nate Allen made the tackle, 51-yard punt, 9-yard return. A big play by DeAndre Hopkins, 24-yard catch, set up the field goal, the only score of this game. Houston leading 3-0. Should have been a 60-yard touchdown. He was incorrectly ruled out of bounds, but that was just his 46th catch of the season, and this is 10th game. Last year, through 10 complete games, he had 76 catches. So, Coach, unless he catches 30 more balls tonight, he's not going to be on the same 10-game pace as a year ago.
You know, when you have a year like he had last year, you're going to get special coverages, and you're going to get special coverage people. He's seen Aqib Talib, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Rhodes. It's not going to get easier the better you get.
And of course, he was productive with the revolving door at quarterback the last couple of years for Houston. You think now with some stability with Osweiler, it might be a little bit easier to get into rhythm. Hopkins another catch, Emerson the tackle.
Well, this should have been a touchdown, and I'm upset about it, and I'm just a broadcaster. It's a quick whistle. It's not reviewable, but clearly he's inbounds, and this is a touchdown, I think.
Bart Longson, the line judge, saw him blow it dead, and once the whistle sounds, the play's dead. So it's just a tough break for the Houston Texans. Lamar Miller is up about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
You see Xavier Su'a-Filo. He's a man in the news this week. Offensive guard. He's going to pull right around this double team. Su'a-Filo is the man Houston took at the top of the 2nd round, ahead of Derek Carr. A lot of Texan fans curious as to why Derek Carr is not playing in Houston, but Su'a-Filo is a very good run blocker.
Go to the Wildcat.
Oh boy.
Braxton Miller. They might have it depending on where they mark it.
I want to run that at Khalil Mack. He eats Wildcats for breakfast. I mean, you're not blocking Khalil Mack, you're reading him. He can take the dive and the pitch and the quarterback. I think he's short.
Mack was also selected in that draft that you referenced, John, 2014. A lot of players out of that draft here tonight. Jadeveon Clowney was the first pick, and Khalil Mack was the second defensive player taken, number 5 overall out of the University at Buffalo. Pro Bowler last year in his 2nd year. And they are less than a foot short, and Bill O'Brien's going to punt it.
Well, you run a Wildcat at Khalil Mack, and give Mack credit. You cannot judge a great player on sacks alone, and Mack just made a big play for the Raiders. A little surprised Bill O'Brien might not go for it here. He has a tendency to roll the dice early in games. There's Shane Leckler, a man I know well.
Yes, you do. 17th year, started his career in Oakland when John Gruden was the coach. 1,321 punts. 4th most in NFL history, now 40 years old. TJ Carey back deep. End over end punt came down at the 9. And he was tackled shy of the 20 by Corey Moore. 45-yard punt, 10-yard return. Chance for a milestone tonight for Derek Carr. He could reach 10,000 career passing yards tonight. Back in Mexico City, Monday Night Football, the Houston Texans leading Oakland 3-0. Raiders on offense for the 2nd time. They had a quick 3 and out with 2 negative yardage plays on their first possession. From the 21. Derek Carr off his back foot. Open receiver and caught out of bounds. Clyde Walford, the tight end. His legs went across the sideline at the 38-yard line. First down of the night for Oakland on a 17-yard gain.
Well, Walford ran a flatten up. And here comes the Raiders in a no-huddle offense to try to wear down the Texans in this altitude.
3 receivers to the left. And Carr, the quick pop. Jameis Olawale, the fullback, very close to a first down. He got 9. Benardrick McKinney, the leading tackler for Houston on the year, made the tackle.
And here comes the beast, number 79, Denver Kirkland. He has become a tight end. He's a rookie, former guard and tackle at Arkansas, and he is a thunder in the running game. They love to blast the ball right behind him on the left side.
With 37 snaps in their win 2 weeks ago against Denver. Big reason why they ran the ball so effectively. They're off a bye week last week. Murray planted, but he has the first down, it seems. A hard hit from the hard hitter, Brian Cushing, on his way to becoming the Texans' all-time leader in tackles, now in his 8th year. There's the offensive line. It is terrific. They've spent $37.7 million on their offensive line. That's more than any team in the National Football League. They're getting their money's worth. The backs and receivers, the terrific duo of Cooper and Crabtree. They call them Coop and Crab. They combined to average 12 catches and 160 yards receiving per game. They mark him down short of the first down. 3rd and less than a yard, just shy of midfield. Latavius Murray appears to have the first down. We're taking nothing for granted at the moment. John Simon made the stop for Houston, their 2nd leading tackler for the year. It is a first down.
It's going to be fun to watch Vince Wilfork, veteran nose tackle, against these heavy formations of the Raiders. That time, Wilfork, great penetration, almost a tackle for loss. Vince had a groin problem, did not play last week against the Jaguars, and when the Raiders go big on offense, Vince Wilfork has to play big on defense for the Texans tonight.
Houston likes to line up in the 3-4, but they'll use extra big bodies tonight against that sturdy Raider line. Nice cut to the outside by Latavius Murray, and then a good tackle by the safety, Quentin Demps. Here's the Houston Texans defense, 4th in the league in total defense, anchored up front by the 35-year-old 5-time Pro Bowler Vince Wilfork. Terrific linebacker core. Benardrick McKinney, their leading tackler, is 8th in the league with 80 tackles starting tonight. And in the secondary, the cornerback tandem of Kareem Jackson, Jonathan Joseph, been together on the corners since 2011. Excellent pair, and A.J. Boye, the nickel, is an emerging star in his 4th year. Movement looked like Donald Penn, the left tackle.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Oh, when you start audibling a lot, as Derek Carr is doing under offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave, you have to stand in your stance a long time. And Donald Penn, he jumped the count early. It's the 2nd penalty of the night, and it creates a 2nd and long situation. And don't want to beat a dead horse, but penalties have hurt Oakland.
Most penalized team in the league. Houston is the least penalized team in the league. Oakland's committed more penalties on offense this season than Houston has in all 3 phases of the game. Carr, deep throw, looking for Crabtree, and it's off his hands and incomplete, but a flag down with Jonathan Joseph in coverage.
.50-50 balls. Derek Carr loves Michael Crabtree, and Joseph in press coverage called for the push-off.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Placing spot of the foul with an automatic first down.
Crabtree, top 10 pick. Looks like he'll be okay. Amari Cooper's a number 4 overall pick. The Raiders boast 2 top 10 picks. The only team in the league right now that can say that. And here they come with a first down at the 20.
33-yard penalty against the Texans. Latavius Murray up the middle. Bernardrick McKinney made the tackle. Murray's been bothered by some injuries this year, a toe problem, but he was very impressive against Denver 2 weeks ago.
Good back coming off a 100-yard performance. He's a Pro Bowl back. 6th round pick out of Central Florida, and unselfish is a big word I use to describe this young man. He doesn't care if he's sharing the ball with Jalen Richard or DeAndre Washington.
Coming toward the end of the first quarter, Houston leading 3-0. Oakland in the red zone. In the flat from Murray, and look at those Texans rally to the ball. The 2 standout cornerbacks.
These corners are good players. Kareem Jackson and Jonathan Joseph. They're going to be here all night long.
I'm John Sutcliffe. Welcome back to Azteca Stadium. Earlier today, I sat down with Commissioner Roger Goodell and I asked him about the commitment to come back for 3 years in a row to Mexico City. He said, first they need to regroup, get all the information, see what the team's experience is. But he told me very clear, this whole year has been an incredible experience and I'm very optimistic. He mentioned that if they do an announcement, they're not going to wait till the Super Bowl. And finally, he said, tonight's a great opportunity for NFL fans in the U.S. to realize how Mexican fans are knowledgeable. They know their football americano. They know their NFL, Sean.
Indeed, they do. Delighted to have John Sutcliffe with us here from ESPN Deportes. Lives here in Mexico City, and he is a rock star in this country.
Yeah, I know the Raider fans are popular in Mexico, too, because most of the Mexican fans that I've met are Raider fans. Look around. That's why it's so dark in here. A lot of people wearing black. And on 3rd down and 7, this is where Derek Carr needs to play his best football. Obvious passing situations where the field is limited. No back set.
Jalen Richard, a running back, went in motion from the far right to the left. 4-man rush. Time for Carr. There's Richard. Touchdown, Oakland.
That's halfback choice. They saw the Lions burn the Texans a couple weeks ago with Theo Riddick. You're going to see in the slot, running back Richard. He shreds McKinney in a one-on-one situation, splits 2 defenders for 6. That's great game planning, and that's what the Raiders have going. They have 5 eligible receivers, and all 5 can do damage. And Derek Carr on 3rd and long in the red zone strikes first.
Carr 6 for 6 to start the game. Sebastian Janikowski on for the extra point, right down the middle. Carr took the Raiders 79 yards in 8 plays, and they're on top now 7-3. Oakland now leads 7-3. First career touchdown reception, 2nd career touchdown for Jalen Richard. Undrafted rookie out of Southern Miss, one of many great finds by Reggie McKenzie, the GM of the Raiders, and his personnel staff. They have built the team through a variety of ways. The kickoff is dropped by Tyler Urban, and it looked like the Raiders were on it just shy of the 20-yard line. They had 2 players there on top of the ball. Did either one of them possess it before this battle began in earnest? It's Oakland ball.
Well, Jack Del Rio felt he had an advantage in the special teams, and rookie return man Irvin, ball bounced right off his helmet. And you see McGill, number 39, Keith McGill out of Utah, scrambling down there. I don't know if it was Taiwan Jones. Great hustle by the Raiders special team, and it sets up Derek Carr.
Well, Irvin is a experienced return man. Even though he's an NFL rookie, he was a prolific returner at San Jose State. 3 punt returns, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. during his career for San Jose State, but misplayed that one. You look at some of the numbers for the year for the Texans, hard to understand how they're 6-3. They're now -6 in turnover margin. They've been outscored for the year by 31 points. When they've lost, they've been blown out. Their 6 wins have been in close games. Carr after the play fake throws, caught. Amari Cooper inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for Oakland.
That's the great thing about Derek Carr. He has tremendous arm talent. The pocket isn't perfect. Watch him just flick this with his wrist. He's got an amazing torque in his lower body, and he has a cannon, but he can flick the ball from awkward body positions on a rope. Unlike anybody I've seen playing in the game today. First and goal, Raiders. This is a run pass option territory. He loves to isolate his receivers with a running play.
Tavius Murray, the running back. He takes the handoff and lunges for the goal line. He's down short of the end zone. It'll be second and goal from the 1.
Here comes the nasty boys. Menelik Watson, 71, checking in. I think you're going to see all offensive linemen. Feliciano, 76. They spent a lot of money on this line, but the line has earned every dime of it. I call them the nasty boys. Donald Penn, Hudson at center. I'll be shocked if this isn't a reverse pivot handoff.
Mays Olawale, the fullback, the lone running back. They give it to him. He ran into his own man and then ran into some Texans. Penetration by A.J. Boye. It'll be third down and goal from the 1. A little bit surprised, Coach, they didn't give it to Murray at 3 one-yard touchdown runs against Denver.
Watch Cushing. He loves to play. He's going to go up over the top. He and his linebacking core. Great effort to the football, and it's third down and goal. Cushing, hurt early in the season, has battled back in. What will they think of next?
And big bodies all across the line for Oakland. Look at some of the offensive linemen split out to the right. Carr back of the end zone over the head of Clive Walford. Wow. And Houston holds. Looks like the field goal team is coming on for Oakland.
I've run sprint right option before on the goal line, but I've never thrown it to John Feliciano. I mean, you're throwing a quick out to an offensive lineman.
If you're going to do that, why wouldn't you throw it to Penn? He has 4 career touchdown receptions.
I have no idea. That one probably should have stayed under wraps.
The first incompletion for Derek Carr, the younger brother of the former Houston Texan quarterback David Carr. John said at the top of the telecast, it's been a strong defense for Houston even without J.J. Watt, and they hold after the turnover on the kickoff. Janikowski, a 19-yard field goal. It's 10-3. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon. Join a better network because better matters. By Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And by ESPNShop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Zocalo Plaza, one of the world's largest squares, home to, among other beautiful structures, the Metropolitan Cathedral. It was a popular spot for those of us from the United States to visit this weekend. We thank so many people. Our hosts have been so gracious all throughout this city. Sports Center and many of our NFL programming emanating from Mexico City all weekend long. After hitting a high short kickoff that prompted a turnover by Tyler Irvin, Janikowski kicks this one out of the back of the end zone.
Well, here's the third down play. They're trying to get Feliciano on a quick out, and it looks like it's man-to-man coverage, but the defender up top, they switch their coverage, and there's no place to go. It's excellent work by the Texans defense, playing a little in and out coverage, fooling Derek Carr, and I think the Raiders might come back and regret that goal line sequence. Excellent work by the Texans, but Oakland got a little cute there.
Brock Osweiler goes under center. The I formation behind him. Lamar Miller behind the fullback Jay Prosch. Play action fake. Here comes Mack. And it's almost intercepted. Boy, he threw it right into the hands of Shalik Calhoun.
He's just not playing good quarterback when he's under pressure, Sean. Khalil Mack applies the pressure. Osweiler panics and throws it right to number 91, Calhoun. You have to play better under pressure. That should have been a pick six for the Raiders. And once again, Khalil Mack torments Osweiler. I think he sacked him 5 times the last time he saw him when Osweiler was a Denver Bronco.
That was all in the second half of the game last year in Denver late in the year. 5 sacks in the game for Mack of Osweiler, tied the single game Raiders sack record held by the great Hall of Famer Howie Long. Lamar Miller out to the 28-yard line.
Well, they're moving him around. He's playing left end in a 2-point stance. You keep watching the game, he's a right outside linebacker. And then they play him in a defensive end stance. He's a right end. He's in a 3-point stance. They flip him on the other side. He's playing outside linebacker. He's playing defensive end. And here he is playing defensive tackle in their sub package. He's a hard guy to plan for because you can't find him, but you know you're going to get the best he has, and that's a lot.
7 sacks for the year. 6 of those in the last 4 games, even when dealing with a lot of extra attention. They leave 2 men to block him there. Osweiler's pass batted down, a flag thrown, intended for DeAndre Hopkins, broken up by DJ Hayden, a native of Houston, who played at the University of Houston.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 25. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Let's take a look at the ISO here on Hopkins on 3rd down. Hayden 25 called for holding.
No doubt.
Pretty clear. Now what should they do to Mack? They chip him with the tight end. Clark has him. They're going to make sure that Khalil Mack doesn't ruin this game. You said it, 5 sacks and a half. Osweiler, I'm sure, had nightmares thinking about seeing Mack. Big first down for the Texans.
Khalil told us yesterday he couldn't believe, even as he continued to pile up those sacks against the Broncos, they were just blocking him with 1 man throughout. Didn't leave anybody in to chip him, no double teams. Second Raider penalty of the night extends the drive for Houston. Another play fake to Lamar Miller. That one's on target. Fedorowicz looked like he had hit the ground when the ball came out, but for the moment it's a live play, and now they are ruling it an incomplete pass.
Well, somebody needs to make a big play for this Texan pass offense. I don't think he ever had control. Did not complete the process. That's a good call by the official, but Fedorowicz wide open in the middle of the field, and the 32nd ranked pass offense of the Texans continues to struggle.
Well, that should have been a completion. Fedorowicz knows it. Usually sure-handed. He's become a favorite target of Brock Osweiler. Miller, about whom Bill O'Brien said yesterday, he's one of the best guys I've ever coached. He's tough. He's playing with a sore shoulder and an ankle, and he's out there practicing every day.
And what do you call if you're Bill O'Brien? You see Will Fuller, number 15, just exits the lineup. Got a lot of young guys. He's got a young center. He's got some young receivers, and there's confusion right now in his Texan backfield.
Well, plenty of time to sort it out. Play clock at 7. Running out of time. And he tried to get a timeout. Will they give it to him? Yes. .55 to go in the first half. Oakland leading. Bill O'Brien, Brock Osweiler, and the Houston Texans 10-3, and a big play here for Houston. 3rd down and 2. Bunch to the right of Osweiler. Lamar Miller out of the backfield. It's caught over the middle by C.J. Fedorowicz, who protects the ball with 2 hands and gets belted down by Carl Joseph, the rookie safety out of West Virginia.
Well, they blew the coverage. A blitz Reggie Nelson, and no one covers Fedorowicz on this zone blitz. Here come the Texans in a no-huddle offense. Blown coverage by the Raiders. I like this. Pick up the tempo, stay on a gas pedal.
18-yard gain on the second catch of the night by the former Iowa Hawkeye. Now here's the former Miami Hurricane, Lamar Miller. Good gain on first down. They picked up about 7.
It's tough on Bill O'Brien to call the plays. He comes from New England, where they ran a very sophisticated offense. They've got so many moving parts. They've had to simplify things, and now he's running a basic offense. And when you're calling plays, Bill O'Brien will tell you, Sean, it's not what you know. It's not what you want to run. It's what your players know and what they can run. And it's been frustrating, I know, for him and his staff with all the injuries and new players on offense.
He said ordinarily go into a game with perhaps 150 plays. He tries to limit it to 85 each week with the new quarterback Osweiler over from Denver in his first year in the system, and a lot of young players around Osweiler. This is the youngest offensive unit in the NFL. They average under 26 years of age. Osweiler turns 26 tomorrow. Last season in Denver, started 7 games, went 5-2. He averaged 7.2 yards per attempt. As the full-time starter here in Houston, that's down to 5.6 yards per attempt, the biggest drop by any quarterback in the league. Second on the list is Carson Palmer, who's also had a significant drop-off. And downfield passes, John, just 35%, throws of 11 yards or more, lowest percentage in the league. Despite guys who can get downfield when they're healthy, like Will Fuller, it would help if he could stay healthy. Lamar Miller untouched down the sideline, inbounds all the way to the pylon. Touchdown, Houston.
That's impressive, and give Brock Osweiler a big assist there. They use motion. Osweiler signals to the side of his helmet. Alert, alert, alert. He changed the running play from the left to the right. He saw the overshifted defense. Watch 45 Prosh at fullback on the kick out. Lamar Miller smokes it.
And no question about whether he was inbounds. Whoa, perhaps there was a question that time. Looked like he stepped out at the 1-yard line, and they are going to take a look at it. This sideline has not been a friend to the Houston Texans. He's out, and it doesn't look like the ball has broken the plane.
And this one is reviewable.
And as they review it, we'll step aside from Mexico City. Next Monday night, our Week 12 matchup brings us back to the United States, to Philadelphia for the Packers and the Eagles. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern Time, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Packers in a lot of trouble with an eye toward the playoffs, now 4-6 as they've lost 4 in a row. Tony Correnti has been chatting with the folks in New York, looking at the replays. It did look to us like Lamar Miller was out with the ball just inside the 1-yard line. They're likely to overturn the touchdown ruling on the field.
After review, the Oakland runner stepped out of bounds shy of the goal line. The ball will be placed at the 1/2-yard line. It'll be Oakland's ball, 1st and goal. The game clock operator start the game clock on my signal.
Well, it's Houston's ball and Houston's runner, but other than that, this looks correct, John, just shy of the 1-yard line.
That probably was an expensive long-distance call from Mexico City back to New York. Hopefully they have a good cable carrier, but 1st and goal at the 1.
I think if you're a Texan fan, Coach, you have to be encouraged by what you've seen. This is a different-looking offense than a lot of the tape we've watched and when we saw them on Monday night a few weeks ago in Denver.
Indeed it is. They're balanced. They can run the ball, and they've run the ball, thrown the ball, I should say, tonight with some success.
Miller, the running back. Prosh is the fullback, offset to the right. Play fake, and it's batted down back to Osweiler. Would have been better off letting that one land after it got rejected by Danico Autry.
I'm just stunned by the goal line play selection of these two teams. They're trying to throw a play action pass to Dwayne Brown. And Osweiler gets it batted down. He clearly should bat this ball down. An incredible mistake by Osweiler there, but on 1st and goal at the 1.
New trend tonight, Coach. Throw it to offensive linemen on the goal line. Not likely to last.
This is unbelievable.
And a near sideline, the enemy of the Texans, and all of a sudden, instead of a touchdown, they lose 6 yards. 2nd and goal from the 7, and now some movement along the line of scrimmage.
Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
Greg Mance, the center, in there because they lost their 2nd-round pick out of Notre Dame, Nick Martin, to a preseason ankle injury. He would have been their starter.
Well, you want to know why they struggle in the red zone? They make plays like this. A complete pass to your quarterback on 1st and goal at the 1 and on a false start. And now you're 1st and goal at the 13-yard line. Good luck.
Prosh, the only running back. Braxton Miller, the former Ohio State quarterback, the motion man. 5-man rush. Osweiler with time and a touchdown. They overcome the adversity on a strike from Osweiler to Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller, a much-needed play. 3rd-round draft choice out of Ohio State. I call it a jet stream. He comes out of a tight split, and he beats Amerston bad on a little double move to the post. That's a beautiful route, and you see on the backside, Clark, number 74, handles the protection against Khalil Mack. But when you overcome a penalty and a catastrophe on 1st and goal at the 1, Bill O'Brien's got to feel great.
Nick Novak for the extra point to tie it. There were 12 missed extra points in the league yesterday. And that one under pressure from the Raiders just inside the right upright. Braxton Miller, great player at Ohio State, will celebrate his first NFL touchdown and comes in Mexico. Well, many of the locals stop at the Mercado in San Angel after work, pick up everything they need to make a great dinner. Or if you want, you can just follow those wonderful aromas, take a seat somewhere, let someone else do the cooking. Festive night here in Mexico City. The first international game played by the NFL was here in 2005, Arizona and San Francisco. And here they are back in Mexico City 11 years later, with many games in London in between. Touchback, Jalen Richard took a knee. Well, here comes David Carr, very familiar with the Houston Texans. He was at the draft in 2002 when his brother David was the #1 overall pick of the Houston Texans. And when he went up on the stage, their dad, Roger Carr, remembers Derek Carr telling then Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, "I'll be back." And he was right. Then just 11 years old. Now he's 25 and a rising star in the NFL, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders.
And his brother is a big part of his career. They talk daily, and it's great to see two brothers helping each other the way they do.
Richard, the carry. Matter of fact, when David was drafted by the Texans, the family moved to Houston for a few years, and Derek Carr told us from the age of 12 he almost every day watched NFL film with his brother. Learned an awful lot about how to break down film, how to play quarterback.
Learned about protections because his brother got sacked a lot.
Yes, he did. That was in the beginning days of the Texans franchise. David Carr took a beating. Derek on target to Richard, shy of a first down. David Carr now coaching at Derek's alma mater, Bakersfield Christian. Brother Darren The middle brother is the head coach, himself a former player. And their dad, Roger, is also on the staff. He's the quarterback coach. And Derek said David's amazing, changes the game plan every week. They're 10-1 with their season still ongoing in Bakersfield, California. Their Christian faith extraordinarily important to the Carr family. Most important thing in Derek Carr's life and those of his brothers as well. He's on target and that's dropped. Would have been a first down and Michael Crabtree couldn't hang on.
It's a blitz. Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator, brings the heat. It's one-on-one, a slant route, and you got to catch it before you run. Uncommon mistake by Crabtree. Watch this punter, Marquette King. He's known to do dances after he punts.
Braxton Miller back deep. Tyler Urban, who fumbled the kickoff earlier in the game, left with a chest injury. Not sure about his return. Lisa Salters tells us. Good boot by King. And Miller a lot of dancing around but could not get away. Well covered by Andre Holmes, a special team standout for Oakland. There is a flag on the play. 59-yard punt by King. Nearly 5 seconds of hang time, 4.93.
There is no penalty on the play for a member of the kicking team blocking after the return. Timeout.
Good one on Monday Night Football from Mexico City. The Texans and Raiders tied at 10. Jadeveon Clowney, Khalil Mack, the first two defensive players taken in the 2014 draft. Clowney, number one, battled injuries, missed 15 games in his first two seasons while Mack was thriving, including becoming the first player ever to be first-team All-Pro at 2 different positions. Because he's played in 15 more games, he has far outpaced Clowney's career sack numbers. Interesting conversation with people on both sides. We'll tell you about in a moment about those two. Miller could not get away from Danico Autry. We spoke with Vince Wilfork, the veteran nose for the Texans yesterday. He said Jadeveon Clowney is our best defensive player, and I mean that even when we have J.J. Watt. That's saying a lot. J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. When we spoke to Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator for Oakland, he said, how lucky were we that they took Clowney and we wound up with Mack. We thank our lucky stars that that's the way it turned out.
Too early to tell who got the better deal, but I'd like to have them both.
Well, you can't.
Good throw.
Good. Excellent throw. Osweiler much sharper than we've seen him this year. Comfortable with Fedorowicz, and there's the connection again for another Houston first down.
We got to make some tight window throws, and that's an excellent job placing the ball on the outside shoulder, and the coverage by Malcolm Smith is there. Hard to defend that.
Back to the run with Lamar Miller. Spins ahead to the 26-yard line. The first hit by Danico Autry.
It's like Shalik Calhoun, pass rusher for the Raiders, is down.
Rookie out of Michigan State. 4-year starter for the Spartans.
Texans using that no huddle offense, excuse me, Sean, and don't know if this is a cramp, but we are facing the altitude, and both teams here at the end of the first half perhaps feeling it.
Both sides were told to be very attentive to hydration. We learned something yesterday from the Texans. Beet juice apparently helps your respiratory system when you're at altitude. They were drinking a lot of beet juice, which did not.
I was walking around Mexico looking for beetle juice, and the people looked at me like I was crazy. It's beet juice.
Yes.
Get a cup of that at halftime. You might need it.
It came in powdered form, and one of the Texans told us yesterday it tastes like dirt. But that's what you need to do to hydrate. And that's what they're going to do. 2nd and 7. Osweiler on target again to DeAndre Hopkins. Down to the 39. The tackle by DJ Hayden.
It's good pass protection. It's great design. They're going to nudge Khalil Mack And it gives Dwayne Brown time to look down the field, reset, and find Hopkins coming from the backside. DeAndre Hopkins ran a beautiful square in. There's no underneath coverage, and the Texans look better tonight on offense than I've seen.
13-yard completion to Hopkins, the fourth-year man out of Clemson. Osweiler's thrown for 107 yards tonight. That's more than he had the entire game in Jacksonville last week, and Bill O'Brien says he had his best week of practice.
Bill O'Brien, I like being around him. He's got a chip on his shoulder the size of my head. I mean, he is tired of people saying, hey, you're the worst 6-3 team in history. His players are tired of hearing about it, and they could use a win against a good football team on Monday Night Football to silence his critics.
So you're saying you like being around Irish guys from Boston?
Some of them.
Why did I do? I was walking into that. Raheem Hunt tripped up by Bruce Irvin as Hunt tried to bounce it outside to the right.
Hunt's got to pick it up because Alfred Blue is out of the lineup. Hunt made a lot of yards at Purdue, but look at Irvin set the edge again. He just dish rags Griffin for the second time. That's great effort. I like this Raider defense, Sean. They brought in players, new players at all three levels. Irvin came over, a world champion from the Seahawks. You see Reggie Nelson, a great pedigree. Back there at safety, Sean Smith, the ex-Kansas City Chief. Give Reggie McKenzie, I should say, the GM, a lot of credit.
They were 8-24 early in his tenure. Someone in McKenzie fired. Now he's certainly the leading candidate for Executive of the Year in the NFL. Pass for Hopkins broken up by DJ Hayden.
Well, Hopkins has to win some of these. Not a lot of separation. He's got the entire middle of the field to work with. It's he and Hayden. Ball's thrown behind him. Was a little bit of separation to credit Hayden with good coverage.
2:35 to go in the half. Shane Leckler on to punt. Spent 13 years with the Oakland Raiders. Up in the air for a long time, and it lands at the 1 and bounds into the end zone. Had to like the makeup of this team. We talked about Reggie McKenzie. He's done it a variety of ways. Drafted beautifully, and you mentioned key veteran pickups that can still play and help the culture.
Yeah, I like bringing in veterans with a pedigree. We did that when I was coaching the Raiders. He brought in 2 ex-Kansas City Chiefs. You see Sean Smith, center Rodney Hudson, 2 ex-world champion Seahawks. He brought in a left guard, Kelechi Osemele, a world champion, Raven. Reggie Nelson has been to Pro Bowls with the Cincinnati Bengals. The right kind of guys to work with this young nucleus that he has drafted, and so far he looks like a very smart man.
So much of their history when the Raiders had success, it was with a group of very colorful characters. Crabtree slipped as he tried to cut up the field. There's a short gain of about 3. It is a soft turf. They knew that coming in. We've seen players changing their footwear.
And watch this secondary of the Texans. They mix coverages and they disguise them well.
Oakland trying to get another playoff before the 2-minute warning, and they got Jadeveon Clowney to jump.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 90. 5-yard penalty, it will remain 2nd down.
Clowney off early, and Derek Carr, a very good 2-minute closing quarterback. He's been at his best at the end of games. Some dramatic comeback victories this year, and the thing I love about Carr is he's improved season by season. And if you're into statistics, look at Derek Carr in the first quarter, in the second quarter, as the game goes on. His best football is in the fourth quarter.
2-minute warning. Monday Night Football from Mexico City. Nearly 2/3 of high schools around the country lack a full-time athletic trainer. The NFL Foundation running a program to increase access to athletic trainers. For high schools around the country, saw the Vikings worked with the school just featured to secure full-time coverage of an athletic trainer. Terrific program, working well. 2nd and 1, just off the 2-minute warning. A deep ball off the hands of Seth Roberts. And incomplete. Boy, Carr couldn't have thrown it any better. And he's been victimized by some drops tonight from what is ordinarily a very good receiving corps.
Roberts is a reliable slot receiver, and he beats Kareem Jackson on a flatten up. Strange stadium. None of these players, I'm sure, have played here before. If they have, it probably was a while ago. Perhaps that's a problem. The lighting, you never know.
Oakland, after rushing for 218 yards against Denver, has run for 9 tonight, and in reverse again. Texans Olawale couldn't get out of the backfield, ran into his own man, Austin Howard.
Texans are taking it to the Raider offensive line. Penetration by Clowney, stuffs that run.
Timeout Houston. Marquette King on to punt. Fifth year out of Fort Valley State, undrafted. Another great find by Oakland. That's a good bounce. Out of bounds along the near sideline. Well, we appear to have an issue with laser pointers from the stands. You can see off the helmet there of Osweiler, somebody directing a laser. And we've seen it a couple of other times as well. And the NFL security is aware of it, and they're trying to figure out who's doing it and get them out of here.
Perhaps that has something to do with the drop passes. Can't have that. Credit the Texans defense for stuffing the Raider running game, and let's see what Brock Osweiler has in store. Plenty of time in a 2-minute drill to get something.
Again, well protected, throws into traffic and intercepted at midfield. Picked off by Malcolm Smith.
Great play by Smith. A terrible decision by Osweiler. He's got Will Fuller wide open on the square end, and he threw the ball to the wrong man. Keep an eye on Fuller on the square end. I think that's where Bill O'Brien wants this ball to go. He's wide open. There's no one there. And there's the pregame grinder, Malcolm Smith, the ex-Super Bowl MVP of the Seattle Seahawks, and Osweiler continues to struggle with turnovers. Be careful out of the sudden change. Cooper at the bottom of the screen has been awfully quiet, working against A.J. Boye.
From midfield, a minute and a half to go in the half. Carr, another drop. This one by Seth Roberts, his second within a matter of moments.
Roberts has been a very clutch slot receiver, and Derek Carr disappointed, obviously, on second down. Will Romeo Crennel bring some heat? Clowney at the top of the screen has given Austin Howard fits.
This Oakland possession set up by the 4th career interception from Malcolm Smith. He said a huge one while a Seahawk in the Super Bowl win over Denver. Across the middle, Latavius Murray ankle tackled short of the first down. Big stop by Kareem Jackson.
It's good tackling secondary, and I like watching Romeo Crennel's defenses. They spin the dial in the 2-minute drill. They never play the same coverage, back-to-back plays, and they disguise them well.
Inside handoff. Murray couldn't find any running room. He gets thrown down. Jadeveon Clowney at the bottom of the pile with help up top from Andre Hal, and the clock runs to 50 seconds left in the half.
Houston Texans have done it in short yardage. They've done it on the goal line. They have rejected this Raider running game. Penetration. Shedding blocks. And here come the Raiders going for it.
Well, they might try a field goal, be 58 yards, but here at altitude, Janikowski has more 50-yard field goals than any player in league history, 55 of them. So they're going for it on 4th and 1. And stumbling was the receiver. Crabtree with the ball en route. Jonathan Joseph had the coverage, and Oakland turns it over on downs.
That's the strength of this Texan defense on the film I look at. These corners can lock you down. Kareem Jackson, A.J. Boye, and Jonathan Joseph with a huge stop. What great sudden change defense. That's the second time they've gotten off the field.
Well, we'll see how Bill O'Brien elects to play it. We're 16 seconds away from the Toyota halftime. Analysis of the first half upcoming. Chris Berman will have his final drive. The subjects Dak Prescott and Tom Brady. And the latest news and notes from around the NFL from the great Adam Schefter. 3 receivers to the left. Will they try to throw a deep ball? Osweiler throws it short for a minimal gain to Braxton Miller. Jack Del Rio saying it should be incomplete. The ball came out at the end of the play. Really doesn't matter. They gained 1 yard.
Yeah, with 9 seconds left, the only thing the Texans can do, obviously, is complete timeout, long-range field goal, and meaningless catch, and it wasted a lot of time.
Osweiler deep drop, has the big arm, sends it deep and off the hands of Will Fuller, the speedy rookie out of Notre Dame. Ran the fastest time at the combine earlier this year. 4.28 in his pro day at Notre Dame, 4.32 in Indianapolis.
Right now he's a one-trick pony. All he can do is run deep routes and post patterns. Credit Emerson with the coverage down the field, and Emerson looks like an Oakland Raider cornerback. Ian Smith, tall, rangy, man-to-man defenders, and here comes a Hail Mary. Prevent defense by the Raiders. 6 Oakland Raiders deep in coverage.
Play clock running out. Osweiler under duress and sacked by Khalil Mack. They renew their acquaintance on the final play of the first half.
Can't block him one-on-one. Not many people can. Speed rush, no chance. End of the half.
He went right around Chris Clark. At the half, 10-10 the score. Stay tuned for the Toyota halftime with Chris Berman right after this short timeout. Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. It was founded in 1521 by Spanish conquistadors. It is surrounded by mountains and a high valley, approximately 7,400 feet above sea level. The stadium even a little bit higher than that. We're more than 2,000 feet higher than the mile-high city of Denver. The climate here temperate. There are palm trees that line the city streets. Metropolitan area of Mexico City, one of the world's largest. More than 21 million people live here. That's the 7th largest city in the world, twice as big as the metro areas of Houston and Oakland combined. Texans making their way back down onto the field. They built new locker rooms just for this game tonight. About 150 steps. A lot easier going down onto the field than it is going back up in the altitude. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, halftime stats behind us. Big number that jumps out. Season low first half yardage total, 81 yards for the Oakland Raiders against this very impressive Houston defense.
Only 7 yards rushing. They have taken it to the Raiders. Jadeveon Clowney been impressive, and Brock Osweiler is going to have to throw the ball, make better decisions. 2 first-place teams. Should be a good second half.
Time for tonight's Brilliant Moments, brought to you by Kay Jewelers. What do you have for us, Coach?
Well, I like what the Texans did. The series in the red zone was all set up by a Brock Osweiler audible. He saw Malcolm Smith blitzing off the left side. He changed the play. They run a stretch play. Watch the tight end, 87 Fedorowicz, secure the edge, and Lamar Miller takes it down to the 1. Couple negative plays, and on 3rd down, they hit Braxton Miller on a beautiful double move against David Emerson. We have a 10-10 tie, and anything goes here in the second half. Be interesting to see how the altitude affects these teams.
And before they get the second half started, let's check in down on the field. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, Jack Del Rio told me, he said, missed opportunities, key drops in critical situations, that's what hurt us in that first half. He said, we just got to throw and catch the ball better. But what about that Raiders running game? Like you guys said, just 7 yards on the ground in that first half. Bill O'Brien said, hey, we've got a pretty good defense. We have held teams to under 100 yards in the last 2 games. But he said the problem is, we've got to keep it up. They're going to make adjustments, O'Brien said, so we've got to adjust too. The key is we've got to finish this game. Sean?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Houston will kick off to begin the second half. 3 drop passes in that first half for Oakland. Certainly did hurt. Lisa referenced Nick Novak to kick off. You would think if these kickers wanted a touchback every time, they could do it in the altitude. Jalen Richard takes the knee. So can Oakland get the running game going here in the second half behind this offensive line?
Well, they better block Jadeveon Clowney because they don't have a tight end that's done it very well. He's ripped them in the goal line. He's hurt them in the regular field. And he's disrupted counter plays. The Raiders came in here as a balanced offense. They have not been balanced tonight. Give Clowney credit. He has played everywhere on this defense in the absence of J.J. Watt.
Play fake to Latavius Murray under pressure. Carr just throws it up for grabs. It is intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Boye. And a big mistake by Derek Carr, the first turnover of the game for the Oakland Raiders.
That's a mistake Carr made as a rookie. They have a dead play. The protection doesn't hold up. There's pressure on both sides. Merciless and Clowney have Carr under serious pressure. He just threw up a prayer. He should have eaten that football, minimized the damage, and gotten on with the game. But you said it. Romeo Crennel and this Houston Texan defense will not go away. They came in here number 4 overall. And find me the last quarterback that threw for 300 yards against this crowd.
They've done 19 games without allowing a 300-yard passer. Just the 4th interception of the season thrown by Carr, the 2nd of the year for A.J. Boye, 4th-year player out of Central Florida. Osweiler dropped by C.J. Fedorowicz. Usually sure-handed. He's had a couple hit the grass tonight.
I've seen it all. I've seen sprint right options, the offensive tackles. That time I saw Dan Williams, a nose tackle, backpedaling like a defensive back into coverage. And on 2nd down and 10. Hopkins at the top of the screen. The man they have to heat up if they want to advance deep into the playoffs. He needs to make his presence felt.
Hakeem Hunt, the running back now. Whoa! Again, you talk about reads and being on the same page. Osweiler wanted to throw it quickly to Griffin. He had no idea that was going to happen. Never saw it coming.
They drop a pass on 1st down. There's a miscommunication on 2nd down, and Bill O'Brien can't be happy with that. 3rd down and long. Irvin at the top of the screen, and down here, Irvin against Clark has been the money matchup tonight.
Osweiler, a good athlete for a man 6 feet 8 inches tall, running for the 1st down marker, courageously diving for it, got belted by Carl Joseph, but his teammates love that effort. I don't think he got the 1st down.
Take a look at the spot yourself. It's going to be coming right at you. It's a stunt. He escapes it. He sells out. He's a bit short. Great effort. I think Bill O'Brien might go for this one.
Medical attention for one of the Raiders, the reason for the stoppage in play. Perry Riley, the middle linebacker. Osweiler was a standout all-state basketball player in high school in Montana. And actually had accepted a scholarship offer after his freshman year in high school to play at Gonzaga. He grew up in Northwest Montana, about 3 hours from Spokane, the home of the great Gonzaga basketball program. He loved Adam Morrison and those great teams coached by Mark Few. Said people told him you'll be too tall to play football. But that was always his first love. Dennis Erickson offered him a scholarship to Arizona State, and he decided to go the football route. They're going for it on 4th down. Just shy of their own 45. About a foot to go. It's the fullback, Prosh, churning those legs, and it looks like he got just enough.
Good call, gutty call by Bill O'Brien. He's been known to take chances in short yardage 4th down situations. They run right behind left guard, number 71, Suafilo. And they get it done. Prosh, a man that did not carry the ball much in his college career nor his pro career, is a guy that Bill O'Brien said they might have to hand it to in the absence of Alfred Blue. They need a big back.
9th career carry, just his 3rd this season. 3rd-year player out of Auburn. Also started his collegiate career at Illinois. Osweiler throws on target. Ryan Griffin, the tight end, to the 34-yard line of Oakland with a 1st down for Houston.
Beautiful play action pass out of the I formation, and they get Griffin on a deep cross against the rookie Carl Joseph out of West Virginia, and Osweiler throws a strike. Well protected. Good aggressive early down call.
He loves the tight ends. And Griffin is their number 3 receiver. Miller, the ball carrier. Looks like those lasers are still an issue as well. We're seeing flashes across the field as he went to the 30-yard line. And now the center, Greg Mance, is slow to get up.
And Mance, who's filling in for Nick Martin, their 2nd-round draft choice, and man, they can ill afford to lose. Dwayne Brown is hobbling off the field as well. Brown, who missed the first 4 games with a quadricep injury. Let's hope this is nothing serious.
And he's their best offensive lineman. 3-time Pro Bowler, 3 years in a row, now in his 9th season out of Virginia Tech. They've already lost their starting right tackle for the year, Derek Newton, injured both knees on the same play in the Monday night loss at Denver.
And I think Tony Bergstrom is going to be the center. Number 68, the ex-Oakland Raider. Keep an eye on that center quarterback exchange.
Last 4 years for Bergstrom, the new center, spent with Oakland, now in his 1st year with Houston. They fake some trickery, and it's a screen. Lamar Miller down 2 yards short of the 1st down in the arms of Bruce Irvin.
That's a great play by Irvin. They have a reverse fake and end around over the top, and the only man left is Irvin, number 51 on the right side of your screen. They're going to fake it to Miller, fake an end around over the top, and the only man left is Irvin. He breaks down, and that's that Seattle Seahawk tackling background that you have to give Pete Carroll and that crowd credit for. They train them well in terms of tackling, among other things.
Greg Mance back in at center after 1 play out. And Dwayne Brown has returned as well at left tackle. Raiders showing blitz. They bring pressure off the corner. It's completed to Braxton Miller over the middle. And he's tackled at the 20-yard line. Good tackle in the open field by David Amerson.
That's a big-time play by Osweiler. It's Reggie Nelson blitzing from his free safety position. You have to know where to go with the ball in a hot situation. When they bring one more than you have in pass protection, Osweiler pinpoint on top of his game. 1st down, Houston.
Osweiler got away, throws on the run, catch made near sideline. Ryan Griffin for an 8-yard gain. There is a flag down. There are two of them, in fact, at the 20-yard line near the near numbers.
I thought Big Dan Williams was looking for a holding call. Number 90.
He is big. They list him at 315. I think I'd take the over on that number.
I would agree with you on that. Good to see Perry Riley checking back in for the Raiders. We'll get to the bottom of this shortly.
I love your optimism. Tony Correnti.
Holding defense number 91. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play will be second down with 2 yards to gain.
That's Calhoun, the rookie out of Michigan State. He's the third rusher. He fills in for Bruce Irvin. He'll fill in for Khalil Mack. Ken Norton Jr. keeps his horses fresh. Another penalty on this Raider football team. Sets up, after the decline, a short yardage second down situation.
You like that decision? Take the 8-yard gain. It would have been 1st and 10 with the 15-yard line.
I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised.
Lamar Miller finds the hole. He has the first down to the 9-yard line. Shalik Calhoun made the tackle.
It's Bill O'Brien using an I formation, old school offensive scheme. He's shrunken his playbook down significantly, and he has a runner in Lamar Miller that can run from an I formation. You can offset him in the shotgun. You can run any run you dream of with Lamar Miller.
Not on the field at the moment. 1st and goal from the 9. Texans trying to reclaim the lead. They led 3-0 in the first quarter. Well, the Raiders scored 10 unanswered points. Tapped ahead to Braxton Miller, and he ran into Irvin. Bounced off that. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Taken across the near sideline by Perry Riley.
Well, Braxton Miller got eaten by Khalil Mack in a wildcat formation. That time they run the college jet sweep. They tap it, and Bruce Irvin stuffs that. I like some of these college spread plays, but I think the NFL is catching up with a lot of it.
Twelfth play of the Houston drive. 2nd and goal from the 9. There's Miller bouncing outside, trying to get a block from Will Fuller. Didn't get it. And Sean Smith chased Miller out of bounds.
So one thing about Fuller, you have 4.28 speed, and Bill O'Brien told us yesterday he is not a man that we can really count on as a blocker. And there are going to be times the ball's going to bounce outside. You got to move your feet, square up on a defender, and stock block him. That time, Sean Smith, the veteran, ate him up.
Third down and goal. 1 for 2 in the red zone tonight. Near the bottom of the league for the season are the Texans. Play clock to 2. Here comes the rush. And it's incomplete. Flag down. That was way over the head of Braxton Miller. Looked like Osweiler was expecting him to go to the far corner. He didn't get anywhere near it. The ball did. But they might catch a break on a penalty.
Well, I'll say. I thought Braxton Miller quit on the route. 2 rookie receivers get the audible, and if there's a penalty, Houston is very fortunate.
Brock Osweiler, when we talked with him yesterday, described it as a gray offense. There are a lot of gray areas, decisions that the players have to make based on the way the defense is aligned. You can run a different route. And we've seen several examples tonight where they're not on the same page.
Pass interference, defense. While the ball occurred in the end zone, ball replaced the 1-yard line and an automatic first down.
Surprising call to me. You're going to see Braxton Miller running to the corner. There is contact there. But Miller stopped running, and Jack Del Rio did not like that call. Last time they were down here in a 1st and goal situation, they threw a play action pass to Dwayne Brown, and Osweiler caught it. I would imagine Bill O'Brien is going to run this rock.
1st and goal from the 1. Jack Del Rio hot. Didn't think the ball was catchable. Here's Lamar Miller following Prosh into the end zone. Touchdown Houston, and the Texans reclaim the lead.
Get a sudden change, a mistake by Derek Carr. You capitalize, and I go back to Bill O'Brien going for it on 4th and 1. Suafilo, Kendall Lamb, Dwayne Brown are going to run left. Good surge, good reach block by Suafilo, and Lamar Miller puts Houston out front.
He's a terrific back. Free agent signing after 4 years with Miami. Came over to the Texans for a 4-year deal worth $26 million. Not only do they want to solve their quarterback problem after last year and the revolving door, but they wanted to get more speed on their team on offense. They have with Miller, with the drafting of Fuller. Nick Novak adds the extra point. (17-10) for O'Brien and the Texans. 8:32 to go, third quarter.
Welcome to El Coloso, the Colossal, like we like to call it in the city, Estadio Azteca, who has hosted so many great sporting events, 2 World Cup finals. Some of the legends of the sports have played here, like in 1970. Edson Arantes do Nascimento, Pelé led Brazil to a 4-1 victory over Italy, the famous leaping over Jairzinho's arms. 1986, Argentina defeated England in the quarterfinal match. The famous goal of the century proved to be the game winner in Argentina's victory, 2-1. Time flies, guys. I remember when I was a young 17-year-old kid watching Maradona that day.
Wow. That was the goal of the century right here in this stadium. It also was an Olympic venue in 1968. Several NFL exhibition games played here. 1 regular season game back in 2005, and now for the first time a Monday Night Football game in the 47-year history of Monday Night Football played outside the United States. Jalen Richard downs the kickoff. Derek Carr and the Oakland offense heading back to work, down by 7, back to Mexico City in a moment. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters, John Sutcliffe, our producer Jay Rothman, our director Chip Dean. We salute our crew. Terrific every week, but tremendous work. Lots to do, obviously, to set up tonight's telecast in this foreign country. Derek Carr, Jameis Olawale, the fullback, a gain of about 6. Oakland so impressive the last few weeks, but not tonight against the master of disguise, Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator for Houston.
He's a great coach, Sean. He's 59 turnovers his first 2 years, and he disguises everything. Their coverages, he disguises the box that the quarterback counts, all their blitzes, and the leverage that the corner plays with. He might start off inside, he'll jump outside, but Crennel has the Raiders on their heels right now.
Handoff. Wow. Is DeAndre Washington, the rookie out of Texas Tech, who got a rude welcome, his first carry of the night. Romeo now 69 years old. Sorry, coach. And still going strong in his 34th year in the NFL.
He sure is, Sean. He told us last night we got to stop the run. And we can turn our coverage corners loose. And perhaps we can generate a turnover or 2. And that turnover that Derek Carr just threw to the Texans is the story of this game.
Down.
Carr. Catch made by Crabtree for a first down. Benardrick McKinney made the tackle. 1st and 10 Oakland.
Take a look at the interception. They have mixed up their fronts. Clearly there's confusion up top. Nobody blocks Merciless. There's 3 Texans in on Carr. He threw it up, and Boye has the interception. And Oakland using a no-back set, trying to spread out these Texan linebackers, make Cushing and McKinney play in space. That's how they scored their first touchdown.
This the 6th first down of the game for the Oakland Raiders. Carr to the far sideline. Catch for minimal gain, if any, for Amari Cooper. Depends on where they're going to put the ball now. It might actually be a loss of just a little bit.
This Bernardrick McKinney passes the eyeball test. Far and away the Texans' leading tackler, second-year man out of Mississippi State, 6'4", 255 pounds. He's got a 41-inch vertical. He got beat for a touchdown in the first half. A lot of teams try to mismatch him in these open, no-back formations. He's made some nice adjustments, helping stop the run and in pass coverage.
Down.
Jalen Richard up to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7. You surprised by the lack of success by the running game for Oakland tonight?
I am. I'm just really marveling at the work Jadeveon Clowney is putting in tonight. Altitude. I mean, his teammate John Simon, number 51, is out for the game. He hasn't come off the field, and this is the Clowney that the Houston Texans drafted. And on 3rd and long, does he have enough gas left in the tank?
Everybody standing up along that defensive front for Houston. They didn't get there, and the pass is caught, and there's a flag down as well. Clyde Walford hung on, took a high hit from Jonathan Joseph, who might be penalized at the end of the play.
Joseph's playing a zone coverage. He is standing there covering his ground, and there should be no call there.
The pass is ruled complete. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 24 with contact to the head and neck area. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play and an automatic first down.
I think that's going to get called every time, Coach.
Well, when you look at it, he's a trap corner out there. He's entitled to go play the ball. He's allowed to jump toward the football also. I don't agree with that call personally, but I do agree with player safety. First down, Oakland.
That play gets the Raiders over 100 yards of offense for the game after the 11-yard completion. The team that held the ball for more than 41 minutes against Denver in their last game. Whistles and flags before the snap.
Illegal snap, offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Hudson, an experienced center, uncommon mistake there. Must have forgot the snap count. You know, when Hudson got hurt last year, that hurt Derek Carr and the Raiders. He and Carr run the show. Snap after snap, watch them communicate. Down the stretch.
Low snap from Hudson. The check down to Latavius Murray to the 32-yard line. There's Bernardrick McKinney. Again, as John said, clearly their leading tackler. He had 31 more than any other Texan starting tonight's game.
And I go back to Romeo Crennel. The penalty on Joseph a minute ago was a zone blitz. It looked like it was a 2-deep zone, but it was a pressure zone. That was a 2-deep, 5-under zone. He played 4-deep zone. He mixes it up extremely well, and let's see if Derek Carr can solve it.
Romeo Crennel on the coaching staff of 5 Super Bowl winning teams. 3 with New England, 2 with the Giants. Carr, lots of time, throwing it to the end zone, looking for Crabtree, who did not hang on.
Derek Carr has put 3 or 4 throws on the money tonight that Raider receivers normally catch, and they have been unable to do so tonight. Crabtree has made a couple miraculous 4th down catches for the Raiders this year. He's got 2 feet down. He just did not finish the process. Coach Coughlin taught me well last week on what a catch is, Sean.
I like what Jerry Austin, Dean Blandino told us in the preseason. The element of finishing the catch, survive the ground. Crabtree did not survive the ground as he went to it. Boy, all day for Carr, waving people around. He'll try Crabtree again, and a flag down. A.J. Boye had the coverage for the second play in a row. And every official on the field threw the flag on that play.
Boye's down. Boye did not play last week against the Jaguars. Pass rush didn't get there. Crabtree runs a 10-yard hook.
Pass interference, defense number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul and an automatic first down.
He's not open, and Derek Carr waves him to go up the field. Boye, who had a bad ankle last week, being checked out now by the Texans.
Crabtree trying to catch his breath. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Burger King. Now get 3 large pancakes for only 89 cents, only at Burger King. And by Toyota, let's go places. Aerial coverage tonight brought to you by American Express. Azteca Stadium, Mexico City, first Monday Night Football game ever outside the United States. And a good one, 2 first-place teams. Houston leading 17-10, but the Raiders with 3.5 to go in the third quarter have first and goal from the 8-yard line of the Texans. 24-yard penalty on the pass interference against Boye, who's walked off the field on his own power. Quick slant for Clive Walford, and it's batted away by Corey Moore, a backup defensive back.
Well, they throw a bullet slant to a tight end, Walford. Lucky that ball wasn't intercepted. Just a one-step slant by Walford. And credit Corey Moore with the coverage. Second and goal.
Raiders among the best in the league, scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Seth Roberts got rocked, held on to the ball, got inside the 3-yard line. It'll be third down and goal. Kareem Jackson with the tackle with help from Max Bulla, ordinarily a special teams player in at linebacker.
You're in your money on those inside breaking routes, and on third down and goal, in checks number 33, DeAndre Washington. This is the area they isolate Michael Crabtree. He's at the bottom of the screen. If the Texans loosen up and play a maximum zone, he'll hand the ball off to Washington.
Some backups in the game on that Texans defense. Carr to the end zone, nobody there. He wants a pass interference call. Apparently his target was the man who was on the ground just inside the goal line.
Eddie Pleasant, dime linebacker of the Texans, with the coverage. You're going to see a little angle route here. Number 35, Pleasant, did his homework. He sifted through the traffic, made a nice play. Here's Janikowski, a man that's never missed a kick on Monday Night Football.
You're not going to put the announcer whammy on your old friend, are you? This is a gimme, you would think. 20-yarder. Little trouble with the hold by Marquette King, but the kick is good. And Oakland is within 4. 17-13. Houston, third quarter. Many great Raiders here tonight. Jim Plunkett, very proud of his Mexican-American heritage, both of his parents Mexican-American. Cliff Branch is here, the speedy wide receiver of the 70s and 80s.
He could fly.
He could fly. This guy could cause some problems. Ted Hendricks, Pro Football Hall of Famer, as is Marcus Allen. Looks like he could still play today. Tim Brown there in the background. And there are others. The Raiders have traveled well to Mexico City. Akeem Hunt downs the Janikowski kickoff. Sunday morning at Chapultepec Park here in Mexico City. Local youth attended an NFL Legends football clinic led by the former Houston Texan Arian Foster and Marcus Allen. kids were split into two groups, each with either Allen or Foster leading them in various interactive play 60 drills. They love American football, as they call it, here in Mexico City. Nearly 30 million people in this country describe themselves as American football fans. And that number is growing and likely to grow after this experience tonight. Just the second possession of the quarter for the Houston Texans. Oh boy. Team Hunt, we talked about the field conditions. He slipped and kept on slipping. Looked like a couple of the members of our crew leaving the Polanco the other night. Stacy McGee will be credited with the tackle.
Bad way to start the series, and second down and long. Time for the big dogs to go to work. Irvin at the bottom of the screen. Khalil Mack. That's where they want to be. Game on the line. Obvious passing situation.
Brock Osweiler been well protected most of the night. Plenty of time there, and Will Fuller juggled it but held on for a first down with 2 yards to spare to the 37.
Nice catch by Fuller. That's the same pass that Osweiler threw the interception on. This time he throws the ball to Fuller on the square in at the bottom of the screen. Good clear out. He throws this ball accurately. You'll see how fast Fuller can run. Need to get Will Fuller reestablished in this offense. Got off to a great start. Been awful quiet the last couple weeks. That's a big one there.
Had 100 yards receiving in each of the first 2 games of the year against Chicago and Kansas City. And the third player in league history to do that. Braxton Miller. That's a forward pass. And an incomplete pass.
Sorry, Sean, but these RPOs, they give me a, I don't know, they hurt my stomach. It's a running play with a built-in pass option, and if the box is loaded, the quarterback picks the ball up and throws it to the receiver on one of these quick passes, and a lot of yardage these days is accumulated on RPOs. Got to handle it if you're Miller. 2nd and 10.
Osweiler takes off running, has the first down, and goes out of bounds without taking a big hit.
For a big man, he is athletic. Pushes up in the pocket. The Raiders don't contain him. Off he goes. Raiders on defense, struggling in this second half. Some good adjustments by Bill O'Brien, head coach of the Texans.
2 rushes for 19 yards for Osweiler tonight. He's their 3rd leading rusher for the season with 89 yards. They take a draw. He throws for a first down. Fedorowicz stayed on his feet and gets extra yardage to the Oakland 33-yard line in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
Play action pass is killing the Raiders. You're going to see the left guard pull. Fedorowicz on an outside breaking route beats Malcolm Smith. It's the 2nd time in this half Bill O'Brien has worked the play action pass to his advantage, and Osweiler has been sharp.
Texans outscored Oakland 7-3 after the game was tied at half. Houston the edge in the 3rd quarter. On to the 4th we go in Mexico City. On to the 4th quarter we go here at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. Monday Night Football, the Houston Texans trying to get to 7-3, leading Oakland 17-13. We spoke with Bill O'Brien last night. He said everybody thinks we stink. We think that's BS, and they are proving that point tonight. They have outplayed the 7-2 Oakland Raiders through 3 quarters. 1st and 10. Texans at the Oakland 33. Brock Osweiler dumps it off for Lamar Miller. Could not run away from Malcolm Smith, but got a positive gain of about 5 yards.
Double tight end set. It's these tight ends. Last year, the tight ends for the Houston Texans were no factor. I don't even think they caught 50 passes combined, but this year, 87 Fedorowicz and 84 Griffin have become primary targets.
4 down, 57. 57. Right there. What's up?
Lamar Miller cut it back toward the middle. Got taken down by Justin Ellis, about 2 yards short of the first down, and a big play call here for Bill O'Brien and George Godsey.
Keep an eye on Braxton Miller. He's checking into the game. He's number 13. Former Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year twice. In this situation in the first half, he jumped in a Wildcat, and Khalil Mack got the best of him. Will they use a gimmick or a more conventional approach?
Three receivers bunched tightly to Osweiler's right. Lamar Miller on his left hip. They hand it off to him inside. He has the first down. Survives a couple of belts. Got tackled by Carl Joseph at the 20.
You want to see a north-south back? Let this rip. I mean, he takes this ball north-south. He knows exactly what needs to be done. A great run on 3rd and 2 is a 3-yard run. And Lamar Miller just does not take negative yardage runs. He's a fun man to watch. He's on a collision course for a huge year.
Playing with a sore ankle and shoulder. And another tough performance by the former Miami Hurricane tonight. He's rushed for 81 yards on 18 carries. Osweiler again timed, throws for a short gain to Miller. Down at the 14-yard line, tackled by Sean Smith. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, the field is getting pretty chewed up, and players are having trouble keeping their footing. After just slipping the last time that he carried the ball, you saw Akeem Hunt. He came right over to the sidelines and changed his cleats. Now, the Texans players have had longer cleats lined up since the start of the game. After warm-ups, pregame warm-ups, their equipment guys thought it would be a good idea, and a few players have already made the change. Hunt, I saw Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Reader, they changed to the longer cleats in the first half. Sean?
Very important now on both sides that they stay on their feet. Could be the most important part of the game. Whistle stopped the play. Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
It's an unbelievable penalty. Bill O'Brien not happy. Braxton Miller came out of the game late. Will Fuller was a late substitute. And the quarterback has to see that and take a timeout in the red zone in a 4-point game in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 10. Number 12. Keith Mumphrey is in the slot up top.
Doesn't have a catch this season. 87 yards in penalties for Houston to 21 for Oakland. Pass caught. There is Mumphrey. First catch of the year for the second-year man out of Michigan State, who caught 14 balls in his rookie season last year.
That's a great job by Mumphrey. Watch the blitz coming off the right side. Mumphrey has to get his eyes out and become the hot receiver, and that's a great job setting up the Texans with a short yardage situation. Jay Prosh, number 45, carried it the last time. They're missing Alfred Blue, their big back.
They're 6 for 11 on 3rd down tonight. Huge difference here between a touchdown and a field goal. A touchdown would make it a 2-possession game. Very deep drop. Osweiler throws incomplete, looking for Lamar Miller with Malcolm Smith in coverage.
They tried to fool the Raiders. They tried to slip Fedorowicz across the formation. Right side of your screen. He's going to try to leak out late. He sold the block, and that's just a great job by the Raiders in a short yardage situation. Here's Novak to make it a 7-point game.
11 minutes to go. Already made a 32-yarder. Which was his 33rd in a row from inside of 45 yards. This is a 28-yarder. to give them a 7-point lead, and it is good. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA, and by NFLshop.com. Find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL. So many great monuments in this city. That's the Angel of Independence, built in 1910 to commemorate the centennial, the beginning of Mexico's War of Independence. .10:57 to go. Houston with a 20-13 lead. They're 6-3, largely due to the fact they've won all the close ones. It's down by Jalen Richard. They're 5-0 in one possession games for Bill O'Brien this year. They're 6-3. A win tonight would give them a 2-game edge over the Colts in the AFC South. And Jack Del Rio and the Raiders the chance to open up a 1-game lead in the AFC West. Right now, if the playoffs began today, those 3 teams atop the AFC West would all be in the playoffs.
Well, can the Raiders run the football just 11 yards tonight?
Down.
After 218 in their last game against Denver, when that offensive line mauled the Broncos. They haven't been able to do that to this sturdy Texan bunch. Long pass to the fullback. Jameis Olawale in the clear. Touchdown, Oakland.
Blown coverage. Quentin Demps and Andre Howell never saw Olawale slip out of the backfield. Olawale is going to sneak right out of the backfield, and you see the 2 safeties, 29 Howell and 27 Demps. They never accounted for Olawale, a very athletic fullback. Give the offensive line credit for pass protecting. They gave Carr plenty of time. Here's Janikowski to tie it.
Huge extra point. John said he's never missed a kick on Monday Night Football, and he still hasn't. 75-yard touchdown. They had 120 yards of offense for the game prior to that play. Derek Carr, the Jameis Olawale, the fullback, 4th-year man out of North Texas. Houston and Oakland tied at 20. 10:44 to go in the 4th quarter. Mike Tice, the offensive line coach, with the tablet. Olawale is the highlight of his young career. Akeem Hunt with the short Janikowski kickoff. And a nifty return all the way out to the 44-yard line.
Boots punt. Raiders are going to try to cover it. Akeem Hunt, who had a knack for this at Purdue. He sets him, he crosses the field, and he shows that burst. Beautiful kickoff return. Sets up Osweiler at the 44-yard line. The altitude, the conditioning is going to be a big part of the final 10 minutes.
Akeem Hunt, 6 kickoff returns for touchdowns at Purdue. Has Houston well positioned on this possession. Lamar Miller. For those of you who are just joining us, we take you back to a key play, opening possession of the game. DeAndre Hopkins goes what appears to be 60 yards for a touchdown, but the whistle blew while he was struggling to stay in bounds. They marked him out at the 36-yard line when they shouldn't have. He never went out of bounds. They settled for a field goal. Obviously the 4 points difference huge right now. Ryan Griffin on the field, injured tight end for Houston. Back in Mexico City, sellout crowd loving this Monday Night Football game. Houston and Oakland tied at 20, nearing 10 minutes to go. 2nd and 5 Texans, a yard shy of midfield with Lamar Miller, the running back. Osweiler throws. C.J. Fedorowicz, another catch. First down, 37-yard line of Oakland. Carl Joseph and Bruce Irvin made the tackle.
What a transformation in C.J. Fedorowicz. A blocking tight end to a go-to receiving tight end, and now Fedorowicz is hurt. Just a stick out. Good catch, good north-south running, and Bill O'Brien told us Fedorowicz perhaps our toughest Texan. He's played through a lot of injuries. He's taken a lot of hits this year, but he is a big part of this offense. A very good point of attack blocker, pass protector, and an emerging receiver. First down, Houston.
Five catches for Fedorowicz. He's their second leading receiver for the year. And Ryan Griffin, who went off injured on the previous play, is their third, so they're without both of their productive tight ends right now. They go to a 3 wide receiver formation. And a deep ball down the sideline, out of bounds. Will Fuller, well covered stride for stride by David Amerson.
Fuller and the Texan offense have really maintained possession throughout the night. And on 2nd down and 10, with no C.J. Fedorowicz, Bill O'Brien forced into a 3-receiver set with 2 backs, and Miller, a rookie, is in the slot.
Braxton Miller still learning to play that position. They said he's more comfortable on the outside. Miller chugs ahead to the 33. It would be a 50-yard field goal from here within the range of Novak. Here comes Fedorowicz back onto the field for the big 3rd down play.
That's important. Raiders second in the league with their 3rd down defense. They do an excellent job rushing the passer. They mix up their coverage. Where is DeAndre Hopkins? Another timeout. Confusion.
Osweiler well protected by his line tonight. They've sacked him just 1 time. After the timeout, here's 3rd down for the Texans, tied at 28:44 to go. 3rd down and 6 at the Oakland 33. Osweiler and the Texans 6 out of 12 on 3rd down tonight. Pressure. He got it off and caught. There's DeAndre Hopkins. First down, 25-yard line with DJ Hayden in coverage for Oakland.
Got to go to your money man in critical moments. Same route he ran in the first half. It's an outside breaking route this time. Osweiler is on the money, and Khalil Mack just couldn't quite get there. First down, Houston.
Miller patiently weaving his way inside the 20-yard line.
And Bill O'Brien, his team has been beaten soundly on the road by good teams. New England, Denver, Minnesota, lopsided losses. They would like nothing better than to redeem themselves on Monday Night Football against the 7-2 Raiders. They have been balanced on offense, and on 2nd and medium, anything goes. This is where they want to be.
Timeout, Oakland. This is their first. 30 seconds.
2nd down 5, midway through the 4th quarter. The Houston Texans trying to break a 20-all tie. They're in the red zone. Kendall Lamb is reported as an eligible receiver, not a factor as they go to the run. To Miller, looked like he was about to break free, and Stacy McGee tripped him up, prevented the first down, maybe even a touchdown.
Toss crack, and McGee, who's been out for a couple weeks, with a beautiful effort and shoestring tackle. Third and short. Up tempo again by Houston.
Miller again. First down by about, well, where they're going to spot it. Looked like he got well beyond where the official marked it. Still looks like a first down. Malcolm Smith, the tackle.
Oh, he's got great vision, doesn't he? Lamar Miller knows when to press it. He knows when to cut it back. And that time he bounced it to the outside. He's tired. Here comes Hunt, Akeem Hunt, second-year man out of Purdue, just brought up off the practice squad a couple weeks ago. And you look out there in the silver and black, there's a lot of defenders with hands on hips. They've been out there a long time tonight in this altitude.
Houston's run 67 plays to Oakland's 38. Houston's had 34 minutes time of possession. Wow, I don't think they got a very good mark there, and it's actually an inch or two short of the first down. Again, it's this near sideline that has not been kind to the Houston Texans tonight.
I thought he had the first down. You see the knee down there. Will Houston challenge this? And more importantly, will Bill O'Brien go for it? He did go for it on a 4th and 1 earlier in his own field position. Got a 6'9" quarterback. Perhaps a quarterback sneak.
Well, he spotted the ball barely inside the 15-yard line. Offense is on the field.
I like this call. Go for it. Derek Carr, too explosive on the other sideline.
Akeem Hunt, the tailback. Jay Prosh, the fullback. First down, we think. We thought he had it on the last play. They didn't get a good spot.
That's the hardest yard Akeem Hunt has ever made.
Interesting they gave it to him and not Miller.
Right behind his fullback, number 45, Prosh. It's all going to depend on the spot.
Well, he's down, and then he extends the football. Going to be close. Boy, they put the ball right back just about where they snapped it, and from where the ball is,
maybe short.
I think they're short. Is there anything wrong? What are they? Tony Correnti has to go down on a knee. Players on both sides. It is Oakland ball.
By a credit card.
Man, looks like Bill O'Brien's going to challenge the spot. I think he should have done it really on the previous play. I thought that spot was better than the previous one.
I thought he had the first down.
Well, Jerry Austin tells us this should be reviewed anyway because it's a change of possession.
Houston is challenging the ruling on the field associated with progress toward a first down.
Well, they marked the ball almost up against the 15-yard line, and even with that late lunge, it looked like he got the ball past part of the ball being up on the 15-yard line. Well, the ruling on the field was that the 4th down carry came up short of the line to make, and it was by the matter of a fraction of an inch.
After review, the ruling on the field will stand. It'll be Raiders ball, first down. Houston will be charged with their second timeout.
I thought he had it, Sean.
Yep. So we know from experience that yellow line is pretty accurate. The first down marker. And that ball, he's not down yet. And when it is down, the ball's well beyond the 15. I thought it was even more blatant on the 3rd down play. when Miller almost had the ball on the 14-yard hash mark, and they put it back partially touching the 15-yard line. You know Oakland's going to get the call on that sideline because that's been the sideline of death for Houston tonight. Amari Cooper with the catch.
And this is the situation that Derek Carr has excelled at the most. Bringing this team back in the fourth quarter. All the chips are on the table. Can he do it again?
8-yard gain on first down. Houston crowding the line of scrimmage. Latavius Murray picks up the first down.
Sebastian Janikowski, longtime field goal kicker, awaiting if needed on the sideline. And Derek Carr, without a running game tonight, has had to do everything with his arm, and they're continuing to use these no-back formations to try to exploit their running backs against the Texan linebackers.
With that 3-yard gain, they've rushed for 14 yards for the game. Quick pass off the hands of Crabtree. He's had a hard time catching. That was a difficult opportunity for Crabtree.
And Charles James, number 31, has checked in for the Texans. That time he was filling in for Jonathan Joseph. Here comes the veteran Joseph, number 24. A lot of men have come and gone. Boye checks out. We said it at the beginning of this broadcast. This altitude uncommon to these two teams, and fatigue affecting both squads.
Murray, after they faked it to him, has the catch. And a long run after the catch. Well into Houston territory. They'll mark him out at the 35-yard line. Chased out by Quentin Demps. Gain of 39.
He leaks out of the backfield. No one's there, and Whitney Merciless in zone coverage. No match for Murray, and these running backs have killed Houston tonight. Olawale with a long touchdown catch. Richard had a touchdown catch against McKinney, and that time Murray. Thunder and lightning, all three backs with big plays in a passing game.
Wonder if Merciless a little out of gas playing the altitude tonight. Amari Cooper run after the catch, run into the end zone. Touchdown and the lead for the Oakland Raiders.
That's all Seth Roberts. It's a design block flat. Roberts, number 10, at the top of the screen with a key block. Poor pursuit angles. You saw McKinney overrun it. And Amari Cooper scorches him. What a player he is. And a lot of the damage that he does is after the catch. Here's Janikowski for a big one.
Kick is good by Janikowski. In his 14th Monday Night Football game, he's made all 24 extra points and all 18 field goals on Monday night. Could have just about given it to Sebastian Janikowski.
What a combination it is. You know, I like to listen to a little AC/DC McDonough.
And the future is bright. Cooper just 22 years old. Derek Carr is 25.
Foundation players. That's what Cooper is. That's what Carr is. They wanted to change the culture. You can bring in all the passion, all the work ethic, all the commitment to excellence, all the talent you want. You want to change the culture, you go out and win big games. And that's a huge step forward. Can their defense hold on at the end?
They don't mess around with a pooch kick and trying to cover it this time. They'll let Houston start at the 25. Janikowski's kick down.
Now it's up to Khalil Mack. He's the other foundation player that Reggie McKenzie has drafted. Mack, 12 of his 26 or 27 career sacks are in the fourth quarter. And I love watching Khalil Mack practice. I mean, he sets a tone for the entire organization, working on stunts, working on the run game, working on his pass rush, various moves. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and now, after Derek Carr and Amari Cooper get it done, it's up to Khalil Mack and his Raider pass rush.
Play clock running down on Osweiler. Apparently got it off. And he gets the throw off to C.J. Fedorowicz for a gain of 5.
And Osweiler, $72 million contract. This is why he was brought to Houston. This is what makes the NFL great. It's the best coaches and the best players in the biggest games. And Osweiler is going to have to get it done with his throwing arm. Can the Houston Texans pass protect?
He's thrown for 231 yards, and that one is almost intercepted. And it should have been by David Amerson.
That ball hit David Amerson right between the numbers. I have no idea what Osweiler saw there. Protection is excellent. He has a clear vision, and this ball hits Amerson right between the numbers. Third down and 4. They dodged a bullet there. Hopkins in the slot at the bottom of the screen.
Osweiler time against the 5-man rush. His line's been excellent tonight. And DeAndre Hopkins with the first down for Houston.
You could almost feel it coming. Made a big play in the previous possession on third down. Third time tonight I've seen him win against Hayden on an outside breaking route. I love the way he snatched it. First down, Houston. Oakland's tired.
Houston's run 28 more plays. They've been on the field for more than 35 minutes. With under 4 minutes to go now, needing a touchdown and the extra point to tie it.
And Houston knows that they have the Raiders on their heels. They're tired. They can't substitute. Shalik Calhoun, number 91, is the third pass rusher. He's the man that gives Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin a blow, and they can't get him in the game in this no-huddle offense.
104 yards rushing now for Miller. 2nd and 5. Osweiler had to pull it down, and he gets pulled down. Flag down on the play. Bruce Irvin credited with the sack if it stands.
Bruce Irvin.
Against Houston.
Backup right tackle Chris Clark really struggling in pass protection.
Holding offense number 74. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play is third down.
Take a look at it. It's Irvin, the ex-Seahawk, at crunch time. Clark, a backup right tackle. Derek Newton tore both patellar tendons against the Denver Broncos a few weeks ago, and third down and long.
Only one timeout left for Houston. A key play here. The catch made out of bounds, way short of the first down. Goes Keith Mumphrey, second catch of the game and season. And a decision for Bill O'Brien with a timeout, 1 left, and the 2-minute warning. He's going to punt.
I'm a little surprised he's punting the ball with 1 timeout left on 4th and a long 4, but here's Shane Leckler. They're down 7. 1 timeout left.
You
Watch the
coach
fake.
him. Can he run a fake? That's what I was just going to ask you. Well, they're not faking it. We're going to have to get a 3 and out from the defense. Well, in all likelihood, it's ball game over. DJ Carey trying to return the punt, reaches the 20. "51-yard punt, 15-yard return." Raiders leading, trying to get to 8-2. They've gone 13 straight seasons without a winning record. That's the 4th longest such streak in NFL history. They have had 2 8-8s. They'd be guaranteed of at least an 8-win season if they win tonight. They haven't been to the postseason since they played in the Super Bowl under Bill Callahan in 2002. And of course, they lost that game to John Gruden's Tampa Bay Bucks. Only the Buffalo Bills have a longer postseason drought than the Oakland Raiders. Latavius Murray stacked up after a gain of about 3, and so far no indication Bill O'Brien's going to use that remaining timeout.
You know, the Raiders have been through so many quarterbacks as well since Rich Gannon left. And Gannon started 71 straight games for the Raiders. There's Mark Davis, the owner. And now that they have Derek Carr, I believe he's had 41 straight starts. They finally have continuity at quarterback. And believe me, this young man is special. He has a great arm, a great desire, and he has incredible leadership of this franchise.
Carr floats it out there. Caught. Jalen Richard out of the backfield and down at the 48-yard line, and they rule him in bounds, so the clock will tick down to the 2-minute warning.
Said it all night. These Raider running backs have taken it to the linebackers of the Texans in pass coverage. They've had no answer. Richard, Olawale, and Murray.
Soy Steve Levy, a continuación en Sports Center displays del juego. Voy a estar con Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, and Steve Young para el reporte de este juego. Scott Van Pelt va a dar los highlights de los Warriors y los Clippers, el segmento especial de la gran cosa de SVP. ¿Por qué tuvo que terminar así en Texas para Charlie Strong? Ahora, con mis amigos, Sean and John.
He put you to shame, man.
Well,
I mean, his Spanish is...
He memorized that for a week.
That was great stuff.
Loved his authentic Spanish accent. Well done, I guess, Steve.
Buenos dias. You can't even say that right.
2-minute warning, 1 timeout for Houston. Oakland can take it a long way to the end of the game. And tonight, I guess it's a sign of a good team, John. They weren't at their best for a lot of the night. With that minimal gain, they've still rushed for under 20 yards. They'll give them 21 yards for the game. The league low in a game is 11 rushing yards this year by the Ravens and a loss at the Jets. So it's about as poor a performance on the ground as anybody has had this season, and yet they're about to win.
Good teams find a way to win. The Raiders have 199 yards receiving tonight from their backs. If you'd have told me the Raiders would run for less than 20 yards and Michael Crabtree would have 5 yards receiving, I would say they weren't going to win tonight. But 11 catches for almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's more than any team in football this year. Credit Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, for finding the matchups needed to win the game. That's what he did tonight.
Murray again. Derek Carr had just 109 passing yards through the first 3 quarters. Here in the 4th quarter, 5 for 6 for 186 yards. A lot of that obviously run after the catch. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. This is going to be an excruciating loss for Bill O'Brien if it stays this way. And there will be a lot of comments made about marks of the football, particularly along this near sideline. The play in the 1st quarter, the touchdown that wasn't for DeAndre Hopkins. And then the 2 marks on 3rd and 4th down when they were stopped short.
And perhaps he should have gone for it at the end on 4th and 4.
Well, they don't get the first down. There's a flag down. 2 flags back behind the line of scrimmage. Stops the clock with 1:04 to go. This score stands, will be the 4th comeback led by Derek Carr this year with a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or in overtime.
Holding, offense number 88. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play creates fourth down.
And a decision for Jack Del Rio here. About a yard and a half to go. If you get stopped, you give Houston the ball on the 40-yard line. It'd be a long field goal try that would put the game away, or you could just go for the first, or you could just punt it.
Yeah, Marquette King is arguably the best down it punter in pro football. I'd be surprised if he doesn't punt this, but it looks like he's going to stay with his offense.
The Kings had 11 punts this year down inside the 10. He had 2 in the last game down inside the 5. He's excellent at it.
Hard count would be my guess. Try to lure the Texans off sides, and if you don't, take the delay of game and punt it. They have not run the ball tonight. Wilfork, 75, has made his presence felt. Rookie Joel Heath, 93, a prospect I like out of Michigan State. Another rookie, Reeder, 98, out of Clemson. They've done a nice job against the inside run. Will they snap the ball or try to lure them off sides with a hard count?
What would you do here? You said you're surprised they're not punting it. Would that be your choice?
I'm going to use a hard count here and see if I can get a free 5. If not, take a timeout and punt it.
And they snap it. And Murray has the first down.
That's a gutty call. Jack Del Rio. We have a penalty late, but man, has he made some gutty calls this year.
He's been aggressive from the opening game of the year in New Orleans when he went for 2 in the final minute for a win rather than go to overtime. He had faith in that offensive line, which hasn't done much to open up the running game tonight. I think there's going to be a penalty on Vince Wilfork. Murray's luckily he's not a pancake right now because old Vince went flying on top of him at the end of that play.
That's a great call by Jack Del Rio. You can see the smile on his face. He knows it. His players appreciate that. Show a lot of confidence in him. Mike Tice, longtime teammate of Del Rio's with the Vikings. The offensive line coach.
After the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75. The line to gain had been made, so it will be first down and 10 after measurement.
Gee whiz. Of all the guys to have that happen, Vince Wilfork, they listed at 325. I'd take the over on that one too. Just trying to get the ball out of there, but he was clearly down. Well, who would have thought when the night started it would be Houston be the team that would be by far most penalized. They were the least penalized team in the league coming into the night, and Oakland was the most. So Oakland with this win will go to 8-2. They haven't been there since 2001 under John Gruden through 10 games, and they'll have the lead all by themselves. And under Jack Del Rio at 8-2 atop the AFC West. What a job he's done. Homecoming, grew up in Hayward, California, very close to the Oakland Coliseum. His dad, Jack Sr., a huge Raider fan. He deserves a lot of the credit, along with Reggie McKenzie, for what's happening in Oakland.
He sure does. Look at these Raider fans here in Mexico City. They came out in full force. Derek Carr gets it done at crunch time.
They win their 4th game in a row for the first time since 2002, when they had a 5-game winning streak on their way to their last postseason berth. The Raiders are back. An excruciating loss for the Texans. They outplayed Oakland for a lot of the nights. They suffered their first loss of the season in a 1-possession game. Games decided by 8 points or fewer. They were the only team that hadn't lost a 1-possession game this year prior to tonight. Now they have. 27-20 the final in favor of Oakland. Stay tuned for the GMC postgame on SportsCenter coming up next. We'll be back in just a few seconds with this week's Gruden Grinder. Thanks for